I'm Chris Jansing, live in New York. Here's what's happening right now. Commission issuing a troubling report on weapons of mass destruction, warning that the United States government is woefully unprepared to handle a crisis if terrorists manage to successfully release a deadly toxin in this country. Here's what former Senator Jim Talent, vice chairman of the commission, said this morning. With us. How are you today?
Thank you, Chris.
Tell me what's behind this F, a failing grade, why? And impact might be.
Our commission found a
flight that was coming into Detroit is that a lot of the recommendations of the 9/11 Commission have been ignored or not fully implemented. How concerned are you that all this work has been done, and are you worried that people aren't going to pay attention?
I am worried that people.
A new report this morning finds the federal budget deficit will top $1.3 trillion this year, and President Obama is taking fire from both Republicans and Democrats over his plan to reduce the deficit by imposing a spending freeze. Now, under the president's, the political versus the practical impact of this proposal, and let's start with the political. What message is the president hoping to send with this proposal?
Well, the message here is actually takes
the impact likely to be, even if it goes through.
Well, the practical
on the real estate market, two reports out this morning, and they're painting a mixed picture when it comes to the value of our homes. CNBC's Diana Olick joins me now.
Well, home prices are actually kind of a mix.
And more information on America's bottom line. With the nation's unemployment rate still hovering around 10%, more Americans are now signing up for welfare. A government report shows welfare rolls were up 5% last year, the first increase in 15 years. Meantime, especially African-American teens and teens from low-income families. A recent survey shows the 8 hours in Iraq. Another suicide bomber struck in Baghdad today. Right now in Illinois, a crucial pretrial hearing is underway in the murder case of Drew Peterson. Peterson is accused of murdering his update. It is now 17 minutes past the hour. Here's what we're watching. Investigators say the pilot of a crashed Ethiopian jet was flying the wrong way after a rough start for this year's midterm elections.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
Now, you wrote that the last 6 months since we, meaning the Cook Report, began writing about the impending Democratic problems in August, it's been like watching a car wreck in slow motion. What do you think's going on here?
Well, I think what
owned by some of the most powerful people in government. If someone had told you 6 months ago Ted Kennedy's seat would go to the Republicans, that the president's, the vice president's, and Harry Reid's seat were all in play, would you have believed it?
No, I mean 2 months
is the magic number there. I mean, what would have to happen, do you think? Because that's a huge number.
Exactly, but a few more.
Republicans are interested in voting in the midterms or plan to vote than Democrats. So many more stories to come. Charlie, it's always good to see you.
Take care, Chris.
Right now, as President Obama gears up for his first State of the Union, 23 people from across the U.S. are getting ready to be guests of First Lady Michelle Obama for the speech. Here's a rhetorical question. Wouldn't we all like a little more sleep? Well, students at one New Jersey high school are going to be able to get it because the school administrators think they need it. Starting today, Chatham High School is beginning 15 minutes later, 7:45. Students will spend the same time in the classroom. It's lunch and homeroom that will get a little shorter. The countdown is on for the unveiling of Apple's tablet computer. The public gets its first look in just about 24 hours, and there's a virtual tsunami of speculation about what it will mean to the way newspapers, books, and magazines are sold and distributed. A6. Who is this going to appeal to, and really how revolutionary will it be? It should be actually designing pages that would work on the tablet, and then they can charge you for them, which is a whole new world for many of them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks very much. 24 hours and counting. Appreciate it. Well, the Price is Right Showcase Showdown was maybe just a little too much for one contestant. Look at what happened when she heard she might win a new car. The Taliban claimed credit for yet another suicide blast near Kabul, Afghanistan today, just 1 week after a deadly attack that paralyzed the city for hours. NBC's Jim Miklashevsky is in. Al Franken is getting serious about jobs. The Minnesota senator has a plan that may be folded into a larger bill that's being hashed out by the Democrats. It's a little bit about this Senate plan. Where's it coming from? Where's the money coming from? Together could be falling apart. According to the New York Times, some of those groups are pulling out, concerned that organizers are charging too much money and exploiting the grassroots movement. You have all these different organizations trying to come together. Is this thing going to get pulled off or not?
I think there will be some.
All right, Ken, interesting stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
A bailout watchdog has two investigations into how the U.S. government handled AIG's financial crisis. Now, they say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. If that's the case, comedian Tracy Ullman is quite a fan of MSNBC. He is making progress in getting relief to the millions of Haitians who are struggling without food and water. A U.S. commander said that as of now, the military has delivered more than 1 million bottles of water and 1 million meals ready to eat. The other good news is a new 500-bed hospital is being built outside Port-au-Prince. That should be ready by next week. Now for more on our special series, Silent Warriors, our exclusive look at the lives and training of U.S. Navy SEALs. SEALs, of course, are known for their physical grit and determination, but I recently discovered that's not the toughest part of the job. Now, both SEAL instructors and Olympic coaches told me what all of them have in common, the SEALs and the Olympians, is mission focus. SEAL instructors are actually looking for certain kinds of athletes when they recruit, and I'll have more on that tomorrow. Still developing now some signs of optimism from everyday Americans. This morning's for consumer confidence, the highest number in more than a year. What do you take from that?
I don't take a lot away from it. It was up.
Executives from J.P. Morgan, ExxonMobil. What do you think that Wall Street is hoping to hear from the president in the State of the Union tomorrow?
Well, I think that Wall Street would like
so much.
Take care.
And 10 months into the... Okay, can you believe it? 1 year ago today, a California woman gave birth to octuplets. You're not buying it? Okay. We have a very skeptical staff here. I'm Jansing. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be right back here tomorrow. Up next, Andrea